Welcome back to the Mockingbird Show. Today I'll be discussing about the causes of bullying. A bully is not born, but a bully is made. So when we talk about a bully, it's not that he is somebody who was born with the traits of bullying. It can be acquired from the family, it can be acquired from the behavior of his or her parents. It can be acquired because he or she is bullied in the home or in the environment he or she lives in. So a bully is not a born bully. We have to look at the different causes why a child takes to bullying, right? So it is very important to look at the background of the child, to look at where he or she is coming from in order to understand why he has turned into a bully. So in my case, I feel when I was bullied, it was by a girl who was from my class. But later, when I got to know her, well, and now we are also, in touch. So I have seen that her own sister is a big bully now in her social circle. So I feel that she picked up that bullying from her sister, and when she came to school, she took it out on other weaker person. She acquired it because she was herself bullied, and that made her a bully, and she copied that behavior and took it out on somebody who she felt was weaker than her. So now I understand the root cause of why she became a bully. And yes, definitely I have got over that, but then it still has a very big scar in my life, and that's why I take up bullying so seriously and address bullying whenever I see such kind of incidences. Now, coming to the various factors of bullying, I'll read it out from a book that I had come across some years back. There is no single cause of bullying among children. Individual, family, peers, school, and community factors can place a child or youth at risk of bullying. These factors work individually or collectively to contribute to a child's likelihood of bullying. So, family risk factors of bullying: a lack of warmth and involvement of the parents, overly permissive parents, including a lack of limits for children's behavior, a lack of supervision by parents, harsh physical discipline, parent with bullying behavior, victimization by older brothers. That's just what I was talking about. Peer risk factors for bullying: friends who bully, friends who have positive attitude about violence. Some aggressive children who take on high status role may use bullying as a way to enhance their social power and protect their prestige with peers. Some children with low social status may use bullying as a way to deflect taunting and aggression that is directed towards them or enhance their social position with higher status peers. Other factors: bullying thrives in school where faculty and staff do not address bullying, where there's no policy against bullying, and where there is little supervision of students, especially during lunch, bathroom breaks, and recess. Models of bullying behavior are prevalent throughout society, especially in television, movies, and video games. When children are aggregated together, they associate with others who are similar to them or who have quality or characteristics that in some way support their own behaviors. For teenage girls, social aggression can be a way of creating excitement for elevating boredom. It is also used as a method of gaining attention from other girls in order to secure friendship. So, these are the various factors of bullying. And now that we know these factors, we can understand the root cause of bullying. In order to, take out something from the society which is vicious, we need to understand the root cause. We have to attack those root causes in order to, cut off that tree. The tree which is like has gained big, huge branches now and who is flourishing. So, in order to do that, we need to cut off the root. So, the root causes of bullying are very important for us to understand. Now, coming to the effects of bullying, here I'll be talking about three people who are involved in this entire process. One is the victim of bullying, one is the bully, and one is the bystander who is witnessing bullying happening. So, what is the effect of bullying on all three of them? The effect on the victim: students who are the victim of bullying suffer behavioral consequences including loss of interest in schoolwork, reluctance to attend school, poor attendance, lower grades, limited social contact with peers, mood swings, especially towards depression, irritability, unhappiness, outbursts of anger, reports headaches, stomach pain before leaving to school, poor appetite, loss of sleep, visible cuts, scratches, bruises, loss of personal property because of theft or extortion. The effect on the bully. Now, the bully will also have certain effects of bullying because he's the one who's the perpetrator, and he will also undergo certain kind of consequences because of his actions, and they include lower grades, antisocial behavior, including use of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, and engaging in vandalism, be expelled from school, drop out of school, oppositional behavior and defiance directed at adults, including adult authority figures, more likely to demonstrate criminal behavior. The effect of bullying on bystanders or witnesses. Students who witness bullying may also suffer behavioral consequences, including feeling of anger and helplessness for not knowing what to do, nightmares about being the next target, guilt for not taking action, fear of certain areas in school. So the consequences of bullying are faced by all, those who are the witnesses, the bully, the bullied, all of them. So it kind of affects the entire ecosystem in a way. If it's in the school, it's affecting everybody. Now, these cases of suicide that are happening in the school, within the school premises, just imagine the kind of trauma the witnesses are facing. Moving on to the short term and long term damage caused by bullying. The experience of being bullied can end up causing lasting damage to victims. This is both self evident and also supported by an increasing body of research. It is not necessary to be physically harmed in order to suffer lasting harm. Words and gestures are quite enough. For the most part, physical damage sustained in a fist fight heals readily, especially damage that is sustained during the resilient childhood years. What is far more difficult to mend is the primary wound that bullying victims suffer, which is to damage the self concept and identity. Bullying is an attempt to instill fear and self loathing. Being the repetitive target of bullying damage your ability to view yourself as a desirable, capable, and effective individual. There are two ugly outcomes that stem from bullying: to view yourself as less than desirable, incapable individual. The first ugly outcome is that it becomes more likely that you will become increasingly susceptible to becoming depressed, angry, or bitter. Being bullied teaches you that you are undesirable and that you are not safe in this world, and that you are relatively powerless to defend yourself. When you are forced again and again to contemplate your relative lack of control over the bullying process, you are being set up for learned helplessness, which in turn set you up for hopelessness and depression. Some of the short term consequences of bullying include anger, depression, anxious avoidance of setting in which bullying may occur, long term effects, reduced occupational opportunities, lingering feeling of anger and bitterness, desire for revenge, difficulty trusting people, interpersonal difficulties, including fear and avoidance of new social situations, increased tendency to be a loner, perception of self as easy to victimize, self esteem problems, increased incidence of continued bullying and victimization. So, looking at the long term and short term consequences of bullying, we can understand how deep rooted the effects of bullying can be and how deeply it can leave a scar in the mind of the victim. Coming to protection against bullying in India. So I was reading on that and I could see that there is no such legislation for bullying in school, but the law should make it a legal duty for schools to have policies, frame guidelines, and mandate that bullying and cyberbullying be punishable by schools. It shall be the responsibility of the principal to ensure that the policies framed and implemented. So I was reading this. The CBSE School Bullying Protection Law, which says that in 2015, due to rising cases of bullying in school, the CBSE issued guidelines for the prevention of bullying, which included the mandatory setting up of anti-bullying committees in school. Are those committees there in our schools? Very important to see that. These committees would comprise of the vice principal, a senior teacher, school doctor, counselor, parent teacher representative, school management representative, legal representative, and peer educators. So the responsibility of the committee is to develop a school bullying prevention plan and development and implementation of this bullying prevention program, and also training programs for staff, student, and parents, creating awareness through various programs, and being vigilant, meaning watching bullying. But from what we can see now is that teachers are also perpetrators of bullying. Parents also ignore the signs of bullying. So in that case, what are the best things that we can do in order to bring a law that punishes bullying, which is so important? And bullying by way of cyber. So here I was just going through this note which says that it is the largest trend. Of course, it's the largest trend among the students and youngsters, where they are giving more photos and all of those, and trying to bully, children of similar ages or whoever in the cyber space. We can look at the cybersecurity strategy, which was outlined by DEIT, the Department of Electronics and Information Technology, to address strategic objective for securing the country's cyberspace, and is being implemented through the following major initiatives. One is the Security Promotion and Publicity Cyber Laws provides legal recognition to electronic documents and framework to support e-filing and e-commerce transactions. The IT Act 2000 states punishment for all those publishing information which is obscene, as also to any form of breach in privacy and confidentiality. The IPC also covers this issue. And Section 66 of the IT Act deals with action done through a computer or a computer device that are grossly offensive or menacing, or done to annoy, inconvenience, insult, injure, cause ill will against the person it is directed at. Cyberbullying may not always involve false statement. It also involves taunts about a person's quirks. So Section 66A is viewed as a controversial law which has a very wide scope that confers unbridled discretion in enforcement, as the term grossly offensive, menacing, done or annoy, inconvenience, insult, injure, cause ill will are not defined. So this law is also not a completely, watertight law. So there are a lot of loopholes that can be found. And IPC Section 509, woman in this section suggests female. It includes minors. A picture of the victim may be morphed and shown in a comical or sexually suggestive light. If a girl's picture is morphed or shown in that manner, then it comes under IPC Section 509. And Section 67A of the IT Act, which is the Information Technology Act 2000, sending an obscene message to mobile an offense under the Act. Indecent representation of male is not covered under this section. And so I think we have to really look into proper laws that are framed for anti-bullying, protection against bullying. It is very, very important that anti-bullying laws be framed, and it should not be left to the schools to be framed, because it would be never done by them. Already there is a lot of workload in the schools, and now the children are also facing a lot of harassment due to the expectations, due to so much of pressure which they are undergoing on a day-to-day basis. So I feel that the bullying policies and laws be implemented by the government under proper legal framework, and that should be mandatory for all schools to follow. In this way, we can protect our students and our children from getting bullied. And I had seen recently in one of the social media platforms that 45 students of South Korea who got in top colleges were rejected only because of their previous record of bullying. So we should do something like that even in India, some laws and that would be more stringent, and that would kind of stop people from resorting to bullying. So stay connected with us, be a part of the Mockingbird Show, and let's say no to bullying. Bullying is an offense, and we need to unmute ourselves and raise our voices against this menace in our society.